What's up guys, today we have a quick tutorial inside of DaVinci Resolve. We're going to be using a process called Optical Flow, and this allows you to take footage that wasn't shot at a high frame rate and make it feel like it was shot in slow motion. To use Optical Flow, you want to go over here to your inspector window. If this isn't on, you can click on this inspector right here, and retime and scaling. You want to double click on that, and you have a couple options here. So you see where it says retime process, and you'll move down to Optical Flow. So what we want to do is slow down this clip. So right click, hit retime controls, and then click on this little arrow here to change the speed to 50%. So now it looks like this clip was actually shot in slow motion. So here's the original clip, moves fast and kind of bounces around a little bit, and here's the slowed down clip. It's a lot nicer motion, a lot smoother. Let's take a look at some of these lights. So which clip do we want to do? It's a little shaky, but let's go ahead and stabilize this one first. That's terrible. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Okay, moving on. That's much better. Let's stabilize this. Okay, that still looks bad. All these clips are looking pretty terrible. You know what? Let's just try it. So choose Optical Flow, and let's move this to 50% and see how that responds. Oh wow, that actually looks really good. Well, let me pull in one of these clips that I didn't link from earlier, see if they can actually be helped as well. Let's see. Change this to Optical Flow, speed to 50%. Let's do it. Okay, Optical Flow is actually impressing me right now. That looks pretty good. Wow. So just from that right there, where I tried stabilizing the clip, threw the clip away, I brought it back in and used Optical Flow, and now this clip is actually usable again to me. So that's a good tip. I would do Optical Flow first if you know you're gonna be slowing down the footage anyway, and then apply a stabilizer afterwards. Okay, so that's how you use Optical Flow. So you can use it to make your shots slower. You can even use it to make your shots a little more stable, as we saw with these lights. So let's talk about a couple of real world examples where I've used Optical Flow. I had a project where I really wanted to have a nice wide shot that could fade out, and I found this clip where they're all dancing. The song ended, so I decided to use that moment where everyone's clapping and cheering to tilt up into the ceiling. As I'm tilting up, it goes a little fast and then kind of stops, and then I move away from it quickly. When I got into editing, I was like, dang it, I wish I had more room here to actually hold it up here on the ceiling. Maybe I could put a title here. So what I did was I set the clip speed to 50%, changed this to Optical Flow, just like we did on the other clips. So then I did a speed ramp from 100% into 50%. And then I did some cool trickery in After Effects. Then I tracked the camera in 3D, so it found all these different tracking points on the shot. And then I actually tracked in some text to go above that said, "Happy birthday, Eileen," right at the end of the video. So it actually felt like it was in the space, and you can even see as this clip's moving. See the little title that's kind of poking through? So you wouldn't even notice it. It feels like it's actually naturally in the room as we tilt up to see that. And I faded it down to end the video. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have more questions about how I did this, or if you want to see a tutorial on the 3D camera tracker using After Effects. Alright, so that was an example of using Optical Flow for a commercial use for more of a live event. But since this is a filmmaking channel, let me also give you an example of how I use this in one of my short films I recently directed titled Brock Breaks Everything. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you've seen that before. And if you're not, go ahead and subscribe now. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. But you can go back and watch that short film here. I'll link that in the video and in the description as well. But the specific scene I'm talking about is this scene. Actually, this shot right here. Working with younger actors can be fun, and it can be a challenge at times, and you never really know what you're gonna get. In this scene, we've got our two kids fighting. He knocks down this wine bottle, and as it falls to the ground, it breaks, and then he obviously needs to react to that. And any kid who breaks a glass when they're not supposed to be playing with lightsabers in the kitchen is gonna be a little freaked out. So I wanted to have that wide-eyed deer in headlights look. And it was funny because I was directing him, and I told him the kind of look we were going for. I hadn't even said action yet. We were actually just lining up the shot to see where the camera should be placed. And he was practicing his acting, so he was asking me, is this how you want it to look? He did it perfectly. This was the best reaction we got from him. But he did it so quickly that I wasn't really able to use it because it just cut off the shot so quick. So this is what the original clip looked like. And so as you can see, that reaction cuts off so quick. So what I did was I used Optical Flow. So I slowed down the clip to about 40%, and that gave me just enough time to hold on that reaction and really feel that look of anxiety and being terrified that you just broke this wine bottle and your parents are gonna kill you. So that's an example of how you can use it in a narrative film as well. And the last thing I'm gonna try is I'm actually gonna take a shot that was filmed in slow motion. So this clip was filmed in 120 frames a second in 1080, and I'm gonna see if we slow that down, if that gives us like a really slow motion, like almost like a 240 frames a second feel. That would be really cool. So let's try that. So the first thing we're gonna do is, since this was shot in 120 frames a second, I need to change my clip speed from from 100 to 20%. And so that's gonna put us into slow motion there. Well, I guess what I can do is just go ahead and change it to 10%. And so here's what that looks like before we apply optical flow. So you can see it's kind of jittery, so it doesn't really look like it's shot in slow motion anymore. It feels like we slowed it down artificially. So let's change this to optical flow. And now let's see how, I'm excited to see how this is gonna look. Okay, let's see. Wow, that's really clean. It looks like it was shot in like super slow-mo. Let's push it. Let's see if we can take it all the way down to 5%. All right, let's see how this looks. Whoa, that's pretty cool. It actually did a pretty good job. Man, that just looks so good. Even slowed down to 5%. I'm actually surprised it worked this well, even at 5%. That looks awesome. All right, so that's how you use optical flow to process your real-time footage into slow motion clips. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next. And until then, peace out.